From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White. Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne calls it sad that the U.S. turned its back on Canada by launching a trade war. Canada, the U.S., and Mexico were inching toward a scheduled review of the three countries' trade pact. U.S. Ambassador to Canada Pete Hoekstra told an Ottawa event last night the White House had hoped for more than a standard renegotiation, a much larger deal with Canada, including defense.
We were hoping that we would not just renegotiate CUSMA, but that we could take it into being something much bigger. It's obvious, at least at this point in time, that that's not going to happen.
Prime Minister Mark Carney has said he hopes to reach smaller sectoral deals with U.S. President Donald Trump to de-escalate the ongoing trade war. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Carney confirms his plans to officially recognize a Palestinian state next week. Canadian Press reporter Brenda Molina-Navidad picks up the story.
Carney will travel to New York and recognize Palestinian statehood at the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly. France is expected to do the same. Carney's decision comes as his government has been consulting on its approach to the region with Jewish groups and Arab ambassadors.
Today, Ottawa called Israel's ground offensive in Gaza City horrific and suggested it violates international law. The public safety minister says details on the Liberal government's gun buyback program will come within the next couple of weeks. Gary Anandasangari says he's confident Ontario will have collection facilities, even though Ontario Provincial Police won't directly participate. The Liberals promised during the spring election to implement an efficient buyback of banned guns. The Bank of Canada has cut its key interest rate to 2.5%. Bank Governor Tiff Macklem says he expects Canada will avoid a recession this year, but he says growth will only be around 1%.
That is slow growth. It's not going to feel good. It is growth, but it's slow growth because growth is the Canadian economy is adjusting to a different relationship with its biggest trading partner.
The U.S. Federal Reserve also cut its rate by a quarter point today. Sarah McLachlan says she did not expect the emotions awoken by preparing for a new documentary about the legacy of Lilith Fair. McLachlan's festival helped break down barriers for women in music at a time when they were often sidelined, dismissed, or faced outright hostility.
But if you stand up for something, there is going to be an equal and opposite reaction.
Jerry Falwell is going after the Lilith Fair, says the tour is named for a demon.
Lilith Fair, Building a Mystery, premieres tonight on CBC and CBC Gem. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Maple Leafs open training camp minus star forward Mitch Marner. Leafs captain Austin Matthews describes the phone call when Marner told his friend and teammate he was heading to the Vegas Golden Knights.
He'll be a friend of all of ours for life, so those are always tough conversations to have, but at the end of the day, he made his decision and we wish him nothing but the best moving forward.
Meantime, Connor McDavid's unresolved contract situation still hangs over the Edmonton Oilers, but GM Stan Bowman trusts his superstar captain wants to hoist the Stanley Cup in Edmonton. General Manager Steve Staios says Alex Formenton won't rejoin the Ottawa Senators when the winger becomes eligible to return to the NHL. Formenton was one of 5 players acquitted in July of sexual assault charges. And the Calgary Flames have signed captain Michael Backlund to a 2-year contract extension. The deal carries an average annual value of $3.25 million U.S. From the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.